It was the summer of 2019. I had just graduated high school. We knew this would be the last summer we all got to enjoy before the real world would finally hit us. My two best friends, John and Paul, and I wanted to spend some good time together before we all went our separate ways. Living in rural Kentucky in a one-horse town, there isn't much to get out and do, especially for teenagers. But one of our favorite things to do was late-night catfishing. It was a Friday night in late June. The weather was real warm and humid. We decided we wanted to go hit up one of our favorite fishing spots. We took the top and doors off my buddy Paul's Jeep, loaded it up with fishing gear and a case of beer. At about 8 p.m., we took off to go fish, which was about a 40-minute drive out of town into the boonies where there was no service and nothing but trees and the lake. The fishing went awesome. We just relaxed by the lake, caught some fish, and pounded some beers. At about 2 a.m., we decided to call it a night and pack up and head back. Paul was the least turned up, so he drove us back. Going down a windy two-lane with a top off and summer air hitting us felt awesome. About 15 minutes into the drive, Paul spotted something in the road a ways up. As we got closer, we realized it was some guy laying in the middle of the road with his feet crossed and hands behind his back. It was in a narrow stretch of road with a straight drop to the river on one side and thick woods on the other. We were forced to stop. As we stopped, the guy got up and came to the passenger side of the Jeep where I was sitting. It was some old, ragged-looking guy with long, greasy hair wearing a teared-up winter jacket. He started off by asking us for a ride into town. Now, there was no way in hell we were letting this guy into the car with us, but we politely told him we've been drinking and don't want to get into trouble going into town right now. He didn't like that answer. He started telling us, well, I'm getting a ride one way or another. I had now slightly positioned myself to where I could defend myself in case he decided to get violent, which was exactly what he did next. He reached into his coat and pulled out a revolver and threatened to shoot us if we didn't take him into town. Seeing no way out, I replied, "Calm down, buddy. If that's how it is, we'll give you a ride. Get your things and hop in the back." The man let out a disturbing chuckle and said that he's not stupid. He knows we'll just leave him. He pointed his gun towards Paul and told him to get out and get his things, which was only a backpack and a black garbage bag. Paul made up an excuse and told the man that he has to keep his foot on the brake because his e-brake cable was busted and it would roll away. Surprisingly, the man sighed and believed it. He dropped his gun down to his side and looked away at his things. I decided to be ballsy during the time he looked away and threw as hard of a punch as I could right into the guy's face. I screamed at Paul to go as the man stumbled back. We peeled the hell out of there and ran over all the guy's belongings. He had his Jeep floored, and we never stopped till we got to the gas station about 10 miles down the road. Here we had to take a minute and collect our thoughts on what just happened. It was like something out of a horror movie. We were all completely sobered up by now from the adrenaline and went on without incident. It just goes to show you, you never know what can happen, even in an area you're most familiar with.